All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to American Reacts. This has been long awaited. I'm super stoked for this. You've been asking for it. Here it is. We're going to learn about the Holden HSV Maloo, the badass Ute. Tons of power. I'm going to learn about it. I can see just from screenshots that this thing looks like it means business. So here we go. We're going to look at Holden Special Vehicles, tab on Wikipedia, just to get started. So this might be a little bit of a mix of learning about HSV, but based on more specifically learning about the Maloo. So the HSV Maloo is a performance utility that's been produced since 1990. Wow. So they've made them before. And then I believe the outgoing model, as unfortunately Holden was shut down, still rest in peace. Super shame on that. I hate to see it, and I didn't even grow up with them like a lot of you did, but I understand their impact on Australian car culture, and they made some cool cars. But yeah, it says its distinguishing features have been high-performance V8 engines and full body kits. The name Maloo means thunder in an Aboriginal language. That's really cool. I did not know that. John Crennan coined the name for the vehicle after reading a book on Aboriginal Australians. How cool is that? I like the connection there. 2001 HSV introduced a higher R8 specification. In 2006, the regular Z Series Maloo R8 broke the record for world's fastest production performance pickup at 168 miles an hour or 271 kilometers per hour, beating the previous record holder, a Dodge Ram SRT-10. Awesome. I know very well about that truck. That is a very popular unicorn here in the U.S. Very fast truck, and it's a full-size truck, half-ton, so much bigger than this HSV Maloo. And then, of course, it lays out the body style. So, like, you know, your VGs, your VUIs, VZs, VEs, VFs, and so on. VF would have been the last one. That's 2013 to 17. Most powerful and developed was the Gen F 430 kilowatt GTS Maloo, which was launched in November 2014. It featured GTS sedan mechanicals except for the magnetic ride control suspension setup that, due to limited development opportunities, HSV left exclusively for the GTS sedan, Senator Signature, and Grange. The Maloo was originally limited to 165 units, later increased to 250 plus 10 for export to New Zealand. So 10 of them went to New Zealand and 250 in Australia. Wow, I knew you guys said they were rare and expensive. I did not realize that rare. We're talking 260 of these things total between two countries. That is insane rare. Wow, guys. Anyone who got their hands on one of those new is both smart and lucky, because no doubt that thing has gone up, way up in value. That is insane, man. Here's a look at some awesome HSVs. We're not going to dive too hard into these. I can at a later date. I've wanted to do a Holden Special Vehicles video by itself, which I will at a later time. But some cool sneak peeks there. Look at these 90s HSVs. There's a newer one, a VT. Yeah, 2002. These look good. I like these. I even like that old 2002 HSV Maloo. How cool is that? They look pretty good. They aged pretty well, in my opinion. That doesn't look like a 20-year-old vehicle. And then, of course, by 06, 07, these look real aggressive. This HSV W427 right here, that for sure looks like a Pontiac G8 GXP. So I know that's basically the same car, because I'm assuming that's a Commodore, which it was. And, yeah, that's a good-looking car. I think the Holden one actually looks better. I thought that Pontiac G8 GXP looked good, but the Holden one looks even more aggressive. I will say that. And then there's the HSV Grange. That looks really big, and I believe that's what my local police department uses for police vehicles. They're called a Chevy Caprice here. They're really long and have those taillights. They're really long wheelbase in person. They're big. And then, of course, they've used multiple GM engines, a lot of Chevy engines as well. Some of the All-Stars that we've used in our Camaros, our Corvettes. I see the 7-liter LS7. That is a legendary motor that was used in the C6 Corvette Z06. That was such a badass motor, and it looks like it went to Australia in 2008 under the W427. So how cool is that? And, of course, the legendary supercharged LSA. That's the 6.2, of course. 577 horsepower and 546 pound-feet of torque. What a beast. What a beast, guys. That was in literally one of my favorite American cars of the modern era, the Cadillac CTSV. Oh, The CTSV wagon with a 6-speed manual and an LSA, sign me up. Sign me up, man. Motor was also used in the 2012 Camaro ZL1, and then, of course, the HSVs, including the Gen F GTS. How cool. Okay, next we'll just take a gander at some images. I'm assuming it will show most of the new ones, even though it's a generic search with no years involved. And get a look. Get a look. I know you guys probably know what this looks like, but me, that is just crazy. Crazy green color, by the way. And look at that shape. Oh, I know this is everyday occurrence for a lot of my viewers, but for you guys, or anyone not in Australia, and especially any American viewers, which make up a small percentage of my audience, this is crazy, right? To me, this is crazy. I know I always say that. I love it because it's so different and it's so bizarre. That shape is so cool. And to think that it's fast and can carry stuff in a tray or a bed, whatever you want to call it, that is nuts. It looks good from the back. I mean, you wouldn't think it would work, but it does. That is a high performance, car-based pickup, basically. Even the quad exhaust and the red badges, I mean, it's radical, but it works. I love it. It looks better in this color, in my opinion, than that frog green. This is cool. This is like a Venom green. Very similar to the what they called Venom green on the Dodge Viper for a while. Did you guys get the Dodge Viper in Australia? Someone please let me know in the comments if you had the Dodge Viper. That is basically the ACR Viper is one of my favorite cars of all time. If I could narrow it down, that is an amazing machine. And this one right here, you can see the bonnet open again. You can see that beautiful LSA shoehorned in there. And of course, the title of this article says the ultimate Holden Maloo Ute is up for sale for over 500 grand. How crazy is that, guys? Wow. These go for some serious money then. Serious money. Okay, and next we are checking out the hsv.com.au Holden Special Vehicles website. How cool is this? And look, you can see Camaros right there. Of course, the Chevy Silverado, the Camaro again. But look at these HSV classics, about HSV, and then the Gen F2, which was the last hurrah, correct? And I can't get it to load. Maybe this site isn't, I mean, it's got to be up because I'm loading it up here, but I can't seem to access any of the things, the individual sections. Wait, all hope is not lost. It loaded it up randomly when I hit back, so hold on here. We have, look at this, Gen F2. This was the last hurrah. What a lineup. These are gorgeous, man. These look so cool. I love all the colors, but more importantly, the design. They looked really, really sporty, right up my alley. And they're not tacky either. They're not kind of goofy. They have the right look, the right aggression to them without looking silly, Look at this GTSR. What a beast. I love this wagon. You know me, I love wagons, and wagons are rare in the U.S. Not a lot of people buy them, so they're hard to find used. But I love wagons. That's cool. The Senator signature, that looks really neat and sharp. The GTSR W1. I wonder, wow, that's almost like a race model, huh? GTSR Maloo, what a beast. The Maloo R8 LSA. So what's better here between these two? I mean, they both look good. I guess like the GTSR Maloo maybe, huh? The GTS, notice it says King of the Mountain and the Valley. How cool is that, right? Nice Bathurst reference, I imagine. Club Sport R8 LSA. Nice. We're going to click on this one. The GTSR Maloo. Look at that. Look at that shot. Oh, cool. It's got interactive things here. Wow. Guys, this is so cool. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't drooling right now. This is so neat. You guys know I love the old cars, the old muscle, and old utes, old trucks. But man, I don't mind when a new car is done right. And this is modern era, but this is an absolute beast. Huge, basically racing, drilled and slotted rotor, 6-piston. Yep, so that's legit. Racing brake package, basically. Huge front and rear tires, especially the rear. 275/35 R20s. Wow. What a machine. I mean, look at it right there. That 3/4 shot looks absolutely beastly. What color's your favorite? Tell me down below. I mean, this vehicle looks good in any color, but I'm really liking the red with the black. And then, of course, being aggressive like that, I would like it in all black, too. I mean, how can you go wrong? Yeah, this is a 6.2-liter supercharged LSA, Generation 4, alloy V8, high-flow air filter, 90-degree overhead valve, cross-flow cylinder heads, twin knock control sensors, onboard diagnostics, electronic, returnless fuel system. We got 9-to-1 compression. And the power and torque, 435 kilowatts, 740 Newton meters. I don't know those ratings, but sounds like a lot. Look at that. Look at that awesome LSA engine cover. Of course, the 6-speed manual. Let's get a look at that interior, huh? Wow. Oh, man. That is good looking interior, dude. Lots of leather and Alcantara, I imagine. Very cool setup. Got the racing aluminum pedals down there. Oh, man. How cool is that, guys? Now, looking at your petrol is interesting because we use different octane ratings than you. So you use like RON. So you have 98 RON. It says that 95 RON will work, but will be lower performance and economy. So 98 RON is recommended. Whereas here, it also depends on the state. So it gets even more confusing because Illinois is different than California, is different than Florida, you know. In Illinois, we have 87 octane is normal, 89 or 90 octane is mid-grade, and then, of course, 93 octane is premium. And I imagine this car, using a supercharged LSA, would use premium, which would be 93 octane. Of course, you have E85 or ethanol, which is basically just alcohol, and gets really bad fuel mileage, but makes a lot more horsepower. Again, great look at this car. Wow. I mean, I could look at every single point here and read it, as I will probably in my own time, but without making this video literally an hour long, we will move along and look at a couple clips of these and then just finish up with final thoughts. This Maloo is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What an icon, and what a way to go out, right? Holden knocked it out of the park with their last hurrah with this vehicle. Okay, and jumping back over to YouTube, we have Australia's last HSV Maloo R8 LSA Ute, and this is from motoring.com.au. Let's check it out. Oh, that's an old one, huh? I can tell by the gauges. Yeah. Early 90s? Maybe?
This is the Holden Commodore VS Ute. And barely 20 years ago, this machine was at the pointy end of many Australian wish lists. Obviously, the simple formula struck a chord. 5-litre V8 engine at the front,
nice.
Sending 165 kilowatts to the rear wheels. They weren't massive figures even at the time, but considering this thing weighed only 1,400 kilos, it just worked. Throw in the fact you've got a 710 kilo payload in the back, and presto, you've got yourself a sales winner and the beginning of our very own sports utility renaissance.
How cool is that? For an American, that's pretty cool to learn.
Now that fairy tale is about to come to an end. With Holden shuttering its manufacturing operations in Australia, the car-based Ute is about to disappear from production. But before then, we want to go for one more high-powered thing.
Look at that difference.
Introducing the HSV Maloo R8 LSA.
What a beast.
This isn't just any Maloo, it's the 30th anniversary edition,
Oh, wow.
commemorating 30 years of HSV production in Australia. Priced from $80,000, this last hurrah model sits one rung below the GTSR Maloo in the range, but it gets access to much of the same performance catalogue, including these optional 6-piston brakes and also, for the first time, torque vectoring technology.
Oh, wow.
The 30-year model gets unique badging, wheels and sill plates.
Not only is all that technology streets ahead, but so too is the driving experience. Now don't get me wrong, the VS is still an endearing old jigger, but this thing is just a different proposition altogether. For one,
it's
there's
a different
no
world
fuel
for
smell
sure.
through the cabin, the headliner doesn't droop, and there's lots of technology.
The 30-year anniversary Maloo sports more power and torque from its 6.2-litre supercharged V8.
Wow.
Outputs are now up to 410 kilowatts and 691 newton metres. Keeping with tradition, our test car features the standard 6-speed manual transmission.
Oh yeah.
It's an impressive driveline, and I don't just mean when you're flat to the boards either. The power delivery is simply effortless. The clutch take-up is light, and the manual gear shift is just great. This is a really easy HSV to drive, especially compared to older models.
It's good to hear.
It's a similar story with the ride and handling. Yes, it's sporty, but it's also very comfortable, and it's a car that you could live with day to day.
Nice.
I say all this stuff, but when you do choose to sink the slipper in, boy does it go. It's almost too much power for a public road.
Oh man. It's one of those cars where you're like, how is this street legal, right? Oh man, how fun would it be to toss that around? You wouldn't even need water, I bet. You can just spin those tires till sundown on dry pavement. What a good looking ute.
Out on track, the Maloo really impresses. In fact, it almost defies physics with its level of road holding, considering there's a big empty space in the back. The stopping power on these 6-piston brakes is just mesmerising, and combined with the torque vectoring technology and taut handling, they do a really good job of hiding the Maloo's 1900 kilogram curb weight.
Many of those traits are highlighted on the 30-year edition, particularly the Maloo's braking ability and torque vectoring function. The Maloo matches those features with an excellent interior fit-out. Big bolstered chairs, a mix of materials and a clever infotainment system help complement its car-like driving ability. Sure, rear vision isn't a strong point, and you wouldn't really fit much else in the tray other than a motorcycle. But as performance utes go, the final Maloo is a fitting send-off.
Yeah, it did look like it had low visibility.
That thundering V8 engine.
Oh yeah, let's hear that thing.
This thing reaches peak power at 6150 RPM, just short of the red line. So you can imagine she likes to rev.
Yeah.
Oh, and now's probably a good time to mention, Maloo's actually the Aboriginal word for thunder.
That's so cool. And boy, does it make thunder, huh?
I, for one, am genuinely sad to see the Maloo and its Commodore Ute donor car disappear from production.
Oh man.
Now, more than
sucks.
ever, I just want one.
Okay, and then we're going to look at some sound clips to end the video. This is from P Drive TV. Remember, these last two videos will be linked in the description, so shout out to them. Check them out. Here's the inside of a 2015 HSV GTS Maloo. Let's check it out. Oh, man. Love the badges. Sounds so good. Wow. Yeah. Yep, you could hear that supercharger whining. And then that transition as all 8 pistons are roaring away through the exhaust pipes. Sounds excellent, man. What a beast. How does that not make you excited, right? Has good brakes too. Oh, look at this shot. Oh my God. look at this. We have a supercharger boost gauge. How cool is that? Love the badging, like I said, all over. I love the font of the Maloo GTS. How cool is that, man? What an awesome vehicle. So yeah, that's gonna end it, guys. I know these could be an hour long. I could look way more deep into it, but these just cover bases. I get the picture now that that is an awesome vehicle. They're worth so much. I imagine I'm hearing that these go from anywhere from like $400,000 or $500,000 all the way up to sometimes $1 million maybe for certain specs. But what a beast of a Ute. And again, what a shame that Holden is done. I still cannot wait to learn more about them. They clearly have left a legacy on a wonderful country like Australia and will be missed. That is for sure. They were awesome. So I'm sure we can have an awesome comment section on this video. So definitely get down there. Let's talk. What are your memories with this car? Have you gotten to drive one? Have you owned? What was your favorite Holden Ute that you owned? If you did, let's hear about it. What a beast of a vehicle, and probably on a lot of ours car guy bucket list for sure, right? So I hope you thought that I covered enough to get a good idea of what's in this thing and how valuable it is, and checking out the sound of it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Will help the video out. Subscribe for more stuff like this. Check out the description for ways to support the channel. We got a tip jar, P.O. box, and of course a Discord where you can talk to me and post cool stuff. Finally, guys, my name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, catch you later.